We have 7 stories in total for you guys today. The first story is posted by you/Bikinis123 with the title of "AITA for giving my ex-wife a large amount of money I won. Despite the anger of my gay faith, I recently won a screw you amount of money. I won't say exactly how much, but it's in the millions. It makes me feel funny even typing. It's enough to change the life of myself and my family. My ex-wife is the mother of my 2 kids. She is an amazing woman and good to the bone. We divorced 6 years ago because I had an affair with my current partner. I was in a low place in my life, and I screwed up. She was in incredible pain, but like a ducking saint, she allowed me to still see our kids, who mean the world to me. Allowed our divorce to be as pain-free as possible. Despite the fact that I know she was hurting, she still is close with my parents. She is respectful to me, although she refuses to talk to my gay faith. She was actually the first person I phoned, after my mom and pops. After I found out I won the lottery, she was pleased for me, joked that I could take the kids on a world-round trip. And that was that. Nothing else. As soon as I won, I knew I wanted to give her a significant amount. I still love her. She's the mother of my babies, and I feel like this is some small tiny way I can show her that I'm not a complete duck-up. She deserves to know that I care, despite my mistakes. She also works a crappy job in the public library, which pays her peanuts. She would actually be able to pursue her hobbies this way, give our kids a better life between us. I haven't discussed this with my ex yet, but I have with my parents, who strongly agree, and my lawyer, who was very surprised, but on board. Long story short, when I told my gay faith, she was my livid, screaming that I'm disrespecting her, accusing me of still being in love with my ex-wife. I'm not in love with her. We've both grown apart, but of course I still love her for being an excellent co-parenting partner and mother to my kids. My gay faith is threatening to break up with me. And TBH, I'm feeling incredibly relieved over the threats. I don't plan on changing my plans, but AITA. Onto the second story written by you/ABC Throwaway 7. AITA for telling the girl who kissed my boyfriend for a play that she is desperate and pathetic. I, 19F, study drama at uni, and my boyfriend is on the same course. My boyfriend is a really good-looking guy, but he doesn't seem to know it. He gets a lot of attention from girls, and for the most part, doesn't seem to get that they're flirting with him. I'm not generally annoyed by this, and never really say anything. However, there's one girl in our class, let's call her Victoria, who is obsessed with my boyfriend. She goes out of her way to be paired with him in group activities. For example, if the professor picks groups by numbering us 1, 2, 3, she will move herself to be in the same number as him. And she recently stepped down from a main role in a play, where doing so she could be in a more minor one. Simply because this character has a romance with my boyfriend. I know this is the case because I've heard her say to her friends that she thinks he's hot and whatnot. I've never said anything to her about it because she seems pretty insecure, always complaining about how she thinks she's ugly, and I don't see it as a big deal because my boyfriend doesn't care. However, we recently performed the play and had a small after party where she got slightly drunk and was bragging about how she definitely felt something when they kissed in the play, and she's going to ask him if he felt the same. I rolled my eyes and again ignored it until she actually went up to my boyfriend. She was a little bit drunk, and when she went up to him, I was there too. Victoria started saying that she knows he must have felt a spark. He's a really good kisser, etc. I snapped and sort of shouted at her that, "You sound incredibly desperate, going after somebody else's boyfriend. You're pathetic if you think a stage kiss means you should be together." She looked super embarrassed and walked away, and I later heard she'd gone home crying. I feel like a jerk because she's obviously insecure and whatnot, and her friends haven't stopped calling me a tramp since. AITA, FYI, she 100% knows that I am his girlfriend. I have heard her talking about me being his girlfriend before. Onto the third story shared by you/Bluebells in Disguise. AITA for telling my girlfriend to shut the DK up after she insulted my sister's thighs. I'm 30 and my 12-year-old sister is living with me right now because mom and pops are vulnerable. So it made more sense for me to care for my sis for the time being. She is a really great kid, and TBH I feel in a lot of ways like she's my own kid because my mom and dad don't speak English. so I kind of had to raise my sis in ways that they couldn't. Hard to explain, but I'm sure anyone with a secondary culture will get what I mean. My mom and dad are great parents, but having an English-speaking person to guide you through life when you live in an English-speaking country is invaluable. And my sister trusts me with stuff that she won't necessarily trust my parents with. Anyway, my girlfriend was FaceTiming me, and my sister walked past in shorts and a t-shirt, cause it's hot. My gay fafe waited till my sister had left the area, but not the room, and made a face and said maybe feed her less opus. Her thighs are kinda chunky. I saw red and told her to shut the duck up, just came out my mouth, and immediately ended the call. My sister is a bit chubby, but for duck's sakes, who says stuff like that about a 12-year-old girl? Literally, everybody I know has been texting me that I'm a piece of crap boyfriend, and that how can I disrespect my gay fafe like that? I am expecting an apology from her, but to my shock, everybody is expecting me to apologize. So Reddit, idea, onto the 4th story shared by you/Maka Carol Ho. The idea for asking my brother not to bring his boyfriend to my wedding. Okay, this is the worst. I'm losing sleep over this. I'm getting married in a week to an awesome woman, and I cannot wait to be her husband. We are so excited. My brother is gay, but my family doesn't know. Only me and my parents know. I come from a very old school traditional family, so the old part of the family, grandparents and some aunts, uncles still have last century's mind, and the younger portion, cousins, siblings are open-minded and are living in the present. So my brother has been dating his BFF for 6 months now. The dude is great. I'm so happy my brother found a great guy, but it's kind of a secret, as he hasn't told my family he is gay. I've been telling him for years that he should come out, cause I know it stresses him a lot. And I think it will make him feel better not to hide anymore. Plus I bet a few family members already know anyway, but he disagrees cause he knows a part of the family won't accept it, and it will be a lot of drama. I see the opposite. I see it as the sooner you know who the idiots are, the sooner we can cut them from our lives. I have no interest in having someone in my life that doesn't accept my brother being gay. Anyway, that's his decision, not mine. So for now he won't say anything. Until a few weeks ago, when he said he wants to bring his BFF to my wedding. I was not expecting that, to be honest. So he went from 0 to 100 pretty fast. If it was any other occasion, I would be supportive obviously, but I don't think my wedding day is the day to do that. Imagine all the drama and gossip and bees that would happen. And I don't want to get the attention away from my fiancée. That's her day. And I don't want to have to worry about that on my wedding day, and I think it's a pretty good reason. I asked him why my wedding day. He said it's because he wants to celebrate love with the 2 people he loves the most. Me and his boyfriend. This is killing me. I would fight my whole family for my brother and never speak to them again if I had to. But my wedding day is supposed to be a celebration, not a family fight, and I can't do this to my wife. That might ruin our future. I didn't even tell her. She is already stressed out. Don't want to make it even worse. With a heavy heart, I asked him to please come alone to the wedding, and that I hope he understands me. He started crying and left my house without saying anything. Next day I got a text and he said, "Don't worry, going alone." I tried calling him, but he didn't answer me. And my parents don't seem to know what's happening, because they didn't say anything. He eventually called me back a few days later. We spoke. He said he understands my side, but things are still weird between us. This is the worst situation of my life. Am I the a-hole for handling it the way I did? After that, I spoke to fiancée. Couldn't keep this from her anymore. She agreed with me. Clarification: I know it won't be my brother that would cause trouble. The trouble would start with remarks and looks from some aunt, uncle. Doesn't matter, we are spending a lot of money on this wedding. Planned it for a long time. My fiancée put her heart and soul into planning this wedding. I don't want to see my bride or mom crying, or some idiot uncle insulting my brother. Literally every other day of my life, I will support my brother's decision to come out. Even at the wedding, I would obviously defend him. But the point is, not at the wedding. Also, my brother is not the a-hole. Not at all. On to the 5th story shared by you/holiday ya-hole throw. The idea for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiancé. Some backstory: I had been dating my ex-fiancée Sarah for 4 years. We had been planning to get married in November 2020, but I found out at the start of this month that she cheated on me. She begged me to give her another chance, but I broke it off. The problem was that being cheated on is, in my mind, completely emasculating and humiliating. So I never told anyone. That was the reason we broke up. For obvious reasons, Sarah also didn't tell people we broke up, because she cheated. So people have blamed me for the breakup, including my mom. They just see that I dumped her out of the blue. I've gone very strict, no contact with Sarah. After I discovered she was cheating on me, Sarah has been talking with my mom and has convinced her that if we could talk one more time, we would be able to reconcile. My mom has been applying hardcore pressure on me to talk with Sarah. But I've explained that there's no chance we will ever get back together. So tonight I go over to my mom's place because she's hosting family for Christmas Eve. I'm there for a bit talking with my aunts and uncles and cousins when the doorbell rings. And I can see it's Sarah. I ask WTF is going on, and my mom says she invited Sarah. So we can work this out in the spirit of the holidays. I'm pissed now because the only way to explain my side of the story is to tell everyone I was cheated on. Complete humiliation in front of my whole family. So as my mom goes to the front door, I go into the bathroom. My mom starts knocking on the door, saying that I need to come out and talk to my ex like an adult. I say screw it, kick out the window screen, and get in my car and go home. My mom called us short while ago, saying she's cutting ties with me over my behavior. She's really fixated on me jumping out of a window, and that Sarah will always be like a child to her. My sister called me after to ream me out for ruining Christmas. I broke down and told her that Sarah cheated on me, which is why I dumped her and didn't want to see her under any circumstances. She called me a big a-hole who was lying to cover for myself. Am I really in the wrong? On to the sixth story. The idea for asking mom's boyfriend to stop trying to parent me. FYI, the boyfriend doesn't live with us and doesn't pay rent or bills. Him and his daughters spend time here and pay only for their food, something I do as well. My dad died suddenly about a year ago, and my mom found this really nice guy that she started seeing. I'm 23 and going into my final year of college. My mom's boyfriend has two daughters ages 15 and 13. My mom has stepped in to be a mother figure to them, and the boyfriend has stepped into my extended family, becoming everyone's favorite uncle. And while I'm glad everyone else is comfortable, I'm not. He isn't a bad guy, I'm just still grieving my father, and it feels like he's trying to replace him. He tries to set rules for me, things like chores and curfew that my dad specifically didn't, because he thought they were ridiculous. For an adult, boyfriend thinks it's only fair, because I have siblings now. I think it's ridiculous to have the same rules apply, because of our age differences. He's trying to get me to share my stuff with his kids. They aren't lacking for anything, but he thinks it's only fair because I live in the basement of my mom's house. I have since I was 15. When you come in the front door, there's a door to the basement and the stairs to go into the house. So it's pretty separate. So last night I was dinged for some friends and got home at 2 a.m. I had nothing to do until 3 p.m. today, since classes aren't until next week. And my new job starts in 2 weeks. So this has never been a big deal with my parents. I shot my mom a text and went to bed. Tonight though, man, boyfriend flipped. I got a lecture and sent to my room and possible loss of car privileges. I snapped and laid it out for him. I told him I'm leaving the city after I graduate. I told him I'm glad my mom found a new partner, but that I am not, and will not be looking for a new father figure. And he needs to respect that. I told him our relationship won't be father, son for some time, and that he needs to respect me as an adult, or that I won't want to have a relationship with him. He told my family and they think I'm the a-hole. The idea, onto the final story shared by you / some random letters throw. The idea for telling cashier that wasn't the girl's credit card. Throwaway because husband told me I was the a-hole and want to know before I get home and argue. On phone format is bad. I was in a higher end department store today, rhymes with looming tales, and happened to end up next to two teenage-aged girls while shopping. One of the girls had picked out a pair of very expensive boots, and they were both fawning over them. Second girl must have looked at price tag and asks Boots girl if she's really gonna spend that much on boots. Girl with boots says something along the lines of, "It's fine, I have my dad's credit card. I'm not paying," which instantly caught my attention. because that's not her card. I've told my son multiple times. He's never allowed to use my card, so I'm interested to see how this girl thinks she's going to get away with fraud. But it split up from the girls at this point because they had found something else. We end up at the same register, me behind, and I see her total hit well over 4 digits. The girl is about to swipe her card when I decide that I can't let her get away with something like this. And someone has to parent this kid if no one else will. I tell cashier that isn't her card, but her father's, and I'm not sure she has permission. Girl and friend turn and glare at me, giving me possibly the dirtiest look I've ever seen. I swear this girl was going to throw a tantrum right there. I don't think she was ever told no. Girl tells cashier her father gave her the card to shop with because it's the store's credit card, and it gives him the points. Now that I've pointed out it wasn't hers, cashier tells her she can't use that card. Girl tries to show ID to prove they have the same last name. Yeah, that will help. And I tell her it's still fraud. Girl says it's not fraud because she has permission and tells me to mind my own business. I tell her that it is my business, that she's doing something illegal. She needs to pay with her own card or I call the cops. Girl is pissed now and people are glaring at me. She uses her own card and leaves crying. Cashier looks mad at me and I tell my husband when I get home, only for him to agree I was in the wrong. So Reddit, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.